I didn't really plan on living here or think it through about living up north here in this cold. Here's what I did to stay comfortable and warm despite the weather outside. First and foremost, got my winter tires put on. These are studded winter tires so that I don't get stuck. My house, my van is quite heavy, so it needs to have good tires to be able to get it out of a tight situation. Or actually out of an inch or two of snow. I used to get stuck in an inch of snow before these tires. The next thing I did was stuff insulation into every nook and cranny. And even then, as soon as it gets really, really cold, like below -30, I can tell where I'm missing a little bit more, and I add some. I'm putting insulation boards between the front of the cab and the back. And now I'm filling in all the little cracks with stuffing insulation, loose insulation, should I rather say. Well, it's going to be a tight fit to come into the front now. We've got this much space to pass, but it will be well insulated. I'm amazed, guys. It's -28 outside, and I'm perfectly comfortable in my van. I definitely don't produce enough solar power in the winter to be able to run my van. It's especially my heater that I need to run 24/7, so that uses a lot of power. So also there's the issue that there's always a ton of snow on my solar panels. No matter how often I sweep them off, there's always a little coat of snow. And in the summer, while I can pull in about 12 amps on a bright summer day, in the winter, I can pull in 2 amps, and that's pretty good. Usually it's like 1. Even with direct sunlight. So living in a van in the winter does have its challenges, more in the stress to the vehicle than to myself. So I had this chip, more like a crater, when I went to Alberta. And this week, with -27 cold, the whole window cracked. Luckily, I found someone to repair it for really not less than my deductibles, so should get that fixed quickly, because it makes me want to cry every time I see it. So this is real life van life. I've got insulation stuffed all around the door here, so there is no opening this door in the winter. And then I've got a whole lining of hoodies basically covered up with this pretty blanket. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, and then my coat there also blocks the cold. What's going on is that the cold is coming from the floor. I only put 1 inch of insulation. That's clearly not enough, but now I've got like a whole slew of carpets, and that's really helping. At the back here, I do still have to get out, open the door, because my ladder's there and my broom so I can take snow off. But I've got one steady sheet of super thick insulation. I would not recommend the 2 inch for a van, although it worked out here, but it's pretty thick. Oh yes, I've got this. This is like a door weather protector, and I velcroed it on both sides, so I do have to be careful when I open the door, but it worked out pretty good. And then at the top, there's always this little hole that just can't be filled in, so I just stuff some insulation there and I put it back. My plants are doing great in here. I let them, this is the only window that's open this winter, so they get plenty of light there and they seem to be really happy. My water works perfect. Even the drain I'm not having an issue with. That's really cool. But there is an issue with the toilet. So if you recall, I have a nature's head in my couch here that turns into the washroom. So the only thing that's going on with the toilet, everything is working great with it. It's just that in the summer, I empty the solids once every 3 months. It composts really well right in the toilet. But in the winter, I'm thinking due to ventilation, it vents to the outside. It doesn't last as long. I find I have to change it like every month just for the solids. It just doesn't compost as well. Everything's running great with my fridge and stove. And the champion right here, my heater, my Webasto heater, keeping me toasty. It's like minus 20 outside, so quite nice in here. This is a major improvement. I got these nice fleece sheets just recently, and you don't get that cold when you first get in the sheets. It's nice and warm right away. Love them. So all in all, I'm doing just fine in my van. It is so cozy in here in the winter. Winter isn't ideal for van life since I'm kind of cooped up inside. There's not that much interaction with the outside. On the other hand, winters are all about that hygge, cozy feeling, so I'm good with that. That being said, I am really looking forward to the temperatures rising up into the pluses, but that's not happening anytime soon here in Northern Ontario.